standing there by my side, and now you gon' be waiting for the last ride.
It's been a long day.
You're so handsome. Happy birthday, baby.
My friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way.
Good evening and welcome to Conversations with Taz. I'm your host, Taz. Tonight we will be tackling an update regarding the Jason Fox case. And once again, we will be having an in-depth conversation with his mother, Pepper. Good evening, darling.
Hi.
So how have you been holding up? Let's start there.
Well, I'm still alive. I'm still here. You know, I've been having a hard time with it's you know, I feel like it's getting the sorrow and the pain and everything is getting, it feels like it's getting worse, not better. This is the longest that I've ever gone without talking to Jason, and I guess every day will be the longest that I haven't gone without talking to Jason. But he was so much fun, and he was so caring, and just, he was an amazing person, and he could cheer anybody up, and he was thoughtful, and I miss that. I miss that a lot, and I miss the I love you boo-boos, and I miss his hugs. You know, when he first came to me at his senior year, I went to go hug him, and he was very stiff with his hug, and I'm like, hug me, and he's like, I am, and I said, well, you're not hugging me, you're stiff, you know, hug me, you know. And he said, well, I wasn't really hugged growing up, and I would say, are you serious? Well, you weren't hugged growing up? Are you kidding me? And so I love giving hugs, and so I hug him every day, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, just because it looked like he needed one. And by the time he left, because he's so much bigger than me, when he'd give you a hug, you just kind of like melted into him, and you didn't know where you ended and they began, and you felt so safe in that hug, and I miss those hugs. I did make a breakthrough. There's this lady that's with the Latino civil union or something. I think that's the name of it. Mm-hmm. And she gets laws changed, and she wants me to be a part of changing the hate crime laws in Washington State, where I gave her a few ideas, and she said that I wasn't out of context or pocket of it, that what I was asking for wasn't emotionally charged, that I could, that she could bring that forward, to the Senate or whatever. And what it is basically what I want is, I want any crime committed, because of the research I've done and research she's done, we've concluded that about 95% of crimes against gay people are because of hate. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, why can't we change the law where any crime in Washington State, if it's committed against someone and they happen to be gay, it becomes an automatic hate crime. And so that's something that's in the works. I want to have a kind of a extension off that, enhancement, I guess you would call it, where anyone who is gay, who is hate crimed against in a town with 10,000 or less people, mm-hmm. You get 3 times the time and 3 times the fine. That's something else that she said she's probably going to polish that up and twerk it a little bit, because she said it's a little bit unrealistic, but that is something that she's going to work off of. And so this is a good thing, right?
Yes, because what we're finding out about these small towns, it's exactly what's needed. And I'm glad that you have this first victory. That's what we're going to call it. The first victory in a line of many.
she's very eloquent with her words. She has some connections, some actual personal friends that work for the ACLU, and a meeting that was supposed to be maybe 3 hours one day ended up being 3 days at 6 hours a day, and then we had another day, so 4 days, and the last one was 3 hours, and because I have that much paperwork. I have that much, and I haven't even copied everything off yet that I have in proof. But I counted all of it yesterday, and I have 28,000 pieces of information, and I've only printed off about 11,000 of that right now, and about 8,000 of that came off of Jason's phone. So that's a checkmate. I mean, I don't understand why the police are, well, maybe I do understand why the police are treating me the way they are, and doing the cold shoulder is because of not their, how do I word this? Nina, this lady from the civil union, she said that she was shocked when she saw the discovery. I have the first 200 pages of it, and I should, any day now, I'll get the next 200 pages of it, which will have the pictures of Jason at the gravesite.
I remember what I said before you look at those pages. Surround yourself with positive memories. Even if you have to call me and I sit there and virtually hold your hand, or get on a plane.
Get on a plane.
I'm just saying.
Okay, I'll call you from the airport.
I'm just saying. I'm sure the people would love to see us do it side by side, darling.
Right. This day and age is Thelma and Louise, huh? But she was going over this stuff, and she said that there's so much here that the sheriff's department and the police are covering up, and there's so many mistakes that they made. She said, I can't believe this is unreal. And she said, for a discovery, because she deals mostly, like, mainly with children of gangs, in the Latino community is a lot of what she deals with, and LGBTQ plus Latinos, but anyway, she said that she's never seen a discovery on a case where the victim's mother or family member has been talked about so much throughout the entire discovery. And my name is like all through it. Everything from basically one of the mothers of one of the murderers saw one of my Facebook lives, and I said, Padre County, you have 24 hours before I take care of it myself. And it was during a protest, and one of the mothers of one of the murderers called the sheriff's station and said, I am really concerned about my son's well-being. This mother of this gay kid, that's dead, she's going to come and hurt my son, because of his involvement with it's not funny, but it is. I mean, with her son's death, and it's just like, really? I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of fear from people that were involved. That was brought up. The concerns were brought up from those people in the discovery. It's.
Well, also, I can understand their fear. If they were standing on the wrong side of either one, if I was standing on the wrong side of either one of us, I would be fearful as well. But isn't it ironic that they have this motherly instinct to protect their children, but they didn't want to step up to help protect your child, to teach their children not to hurt, to teach their children to respect, to teach their children that we're all human?
Especially since the mother that called, her youngest son, she has 2 sons, her youngest son is gay.
But
And
isn't that always the case? Isn't that always the case? The ones with the most hate are in close proximity to those
right,
that they hate.
absolutely. And Johnny, actually, that there's a Facebook Live where I respond to a message that Johnny Radis he said a whole bunch of stuff to me, right? And it was my fault. I threw the first blow. I was on Jason's phone looking at his Facebook, and all of a sudden it popped up, hey, it's Matt Radis Freeman's birthday. And I couldn't help myself. It was wrong for me to do. I apologized, but didn't really mean it. And they knew I didn't mean it. But I did apologize because I do feel a little bit bad. But I wrote a post for him saying, "Happy birthday, Matt. I hope that nobody calls you on your birthday." He actually knew Matt. He said he was going to take good care of my son. Instead, he decided to kill him. And I shouldn't have written that post. And Johnny sends back this long paragraph, his little brother, and says, "You don't know what your bullshit is causing our families. You need to shut up and sit down," basically. And I was like, "My bullshit? Really? What about your bullshit?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't think my brother did all that stuff." I said, I have all the proof. Checkmate. I have Jason's phone. I have every single text. I have every single message. I have every single recording, movie, picture. I have everything, and I said, I know everything, I know everyone who's involved, your brother is a psycho, and he said, well, I can't believe he did that because, he's my biggest supporter and I'm gay. And I said, well, that just means that he's a good brother, not a good person.
Exactly. There's people that have that much evil and hatred always find one good one. And it's amazing that these hate-filled individuals will find it in their souls to play victim, to act as if you're doing something to them for standing up to hold them accountable. And I'm noticing more and more that it is highly more prevalent in smaller towns. And a lot of it is either intimidation from those in power, police, politicians, or they worship the police. It is like the police are their gods and they can't do anything wrong. Like they could stand in the center of downtown and watch them commit heinous crimes, and they will do mental gymnastics to defend them.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I saw that firsthand during a peaceful protest. We were coming around the corner, and Riley Holstead pulled out his AR-15 and pointed it at me, and in front of 80 other people that were, supporting me with Jason's, because we were upset because no arrest had been made and it had been 2 months. And when he pulled up that gun and he pulled it out and he pointed it at me, I pulled over, I got out of my car and I ran up on him, so you better put that down before you hurt yourself, And in Washington State, the law is you cannot brandish a gun of any sort. And he had a loaded AR-15 that we now know, looking at the discovery from ATF, was he altered it to make it an automatic. And he wasn't arrested for that. And I think that in addition to what you were saying about, the last things we were talking about, I think that money is also another thing that needs to be factored into that. Is money, because this is a very this is the most depressed, it's been declared the most depressed city in all of Washington State. That's one reason why the sheriff doesn't want it to be a hate crime, is because they just got awarded last year a $100,000 grant for being the safest county in all of Washington State. The reason why they're the safest is because they never have anything reported, right? Or they don't do anything about the reported. And I I talked to him further about it, and he said that it would hurt the economy if it was a hate crime. And I'm like, well, what about the protection of people? So you're telling me that money is more important than people? And he didn't answer, but I already knew the answer. So
the irony is that you need people to fuel the economy.
right.
But
and it's not like.
But I do know that we have a smidgen of better news. But better news. There is someone that's willing to is turning state's evidence.
That's not really that good of news. I mean, I guess it kind of is in a way, but this girl Ashley Shellgren, she's all of them have the same attitude. The girls were all the girlfriends and wife were also involved, but they're not going to jail, which is a pattern that I've actually just recently found out on. I've seen on studying more about Newport, Washington, where the men go to jail and the women don't. Ashley is a Pend County's grave digger. She has a heroin addiction and has lost custody of her 2 children because of her drug addiction. While she watched Jason get beat up, her 1.5-year-old was ODing on her Suboxone that was in her purse.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the kids were taken away because the child ended up living, but the police were called out there, and of course, police didn't do their job, or they would have found Jason.
Exactly.
Because his call is when a child's been endangered and it's drug related in Washington State, they search everybody, then they search everybody's car, then they search the entire property, and they obviously didn't do that. I don't know if it's because they didn't want to do it or they didn't care, but they didn't do their job. It's a major disservice when a civil worker doesn't do their job, because it hurts it hurts the people. If you don't like your job, then get a new one. But anyway, she's turning state evidence. I first heard of it from a taxi driver who said that they took a really drunk girl home, and she was boasting and laughing about sending some gay kid off to his death, and he deserved it, because he was just she said the F word, and she's been really, really cocky and whatnot, and she's getting cockier by the minute. She told me blatantly out in a Facebook message that I have since then posted, where she admits to doing what I'm accusing her of. And I got a call from Jason's ex-roommate, because he actually rented a room from his cousin Jennifer, but he shared his room with another gal, and she's like 20, 21 years old. She calls me crying, and I'm like, what's the matter? And she said, Ashley was involved. Ashley was definitely involved. She's not talking, garbage. And I said, well, what makes you think that? And she said, I saw Jason about 4 hours before he went out there. And she said, he has a very distinctive nose ring. And he said, she said, I saw Ashley today, and Ashley was being kind of rude, but she said, I have something for you that I know you want, and gave her Jason's nose ring. And it's she definitely deserves to be behind bars. I mean, it says all over her Facebook pages, 'cause she has 3 of them, and all over them it talks about how fascinated she is with death, and how much she loves her job and what she does, and this and that and whatnot. And it's like she's definitely has some problems that need to be addressed professionally. She told the police that in the discovery that she was concerned about her safety and me. Oh, I because I announced at one point that I was going to make sure that no one was going to go unpunished, but I was going to try to do it. just gonna try to do it the correct way first. That I'm gonna let the police deal with it, and if the justice system fails me, even with all of the proof that I have to present them, well, I don't know what, it's just all up there from there. You never know. And I did mention something about everyone's right big toe wanting them, but I've never done anything like that, and it sounded cool. It sounded cool. But yeah, she just she has no remorse. She enjoyed watching Jason getting beaten. She called me not too long ago, and I guess she forgot that she was talking to a mother, the mother of the person she lured out there to die. Because she said, Jason would still be here if he just shut his mouth. And I said, excuse me? And she said, well, as they were beating him after they tied him up, so they could go four on one, because obviously that's a fair fight, right? That as they were taking turns beating him, that he would get knocked unconscious, and they would go to the bathroom and get water and come back and splash it in his face and wake him back up. And when Jason would wake up, he would start just throwing out expletives, telling them what he thought of them, what this and that and whatnot. So they were and their mothers were, just letting them have it. Jim, he was a sweet boy, but boy, he sure did have a mouth on him.
Well, also when you're put in a position where it's pretty clear someone's not going to let you walk out, and I am a firm believer on this, and I tell my friends all the time, if I am cognitive that it's my last moments, I'm getting the last word. And I feel like that's when he took his power back and he got the last word.
He never backed down. He never begged for mercy. He never he never gave them what I'm assuming that they wanted was for him to submit. Isn't that what most people want when they're trying to be in that position is they want power, control, this and that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he didn't give it to him. And they knocked him out and revived him 4 or 5 times before before Riley finally lost his temper and hit him with the AR-15. And then the rest of her story matches up with the eyewitness that came to me who was terrified that was pregnant. I don't know how far you want me to go or how explicit, because we get kicked off.
Like I said, you can go as far as you want, but I do want to say this. As much as my heart breaks for you, and as much as this is a tragedy, and I know some people will take how I feel right now as inappropriate, but hearing that Jason didn't back down, I actually want to smile ear to ear, because Jason proved that he was far more man and a far better person than all of them.
Yeah.
Like they thought that he was less of a man because he happened to be gay. And he proved that he was the biggest and greatest man on that land at that time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He might have been flamboyant. He might have been feminine. But he did not back down. He was true to who he was. And that's a really hard thing. When she said he didn't show any fear, he was just, and she said if he just kept his mouth shut.
Yeah, but I don't know how many of us could have taken repeated beatings. And if we would have just been like, oh, okay, you're right, to walk away. I don't know how many of us could have stuck to our conviction like that. And that
definitely got that from...
that's a testament of who you are as a mother. And I mean, no disrespect. I have a hard time referring to Jason in the past tense, because I believe that everybody lives on and we just transcend to another part. So I mean, no disrespect if I still refer to him in the present, but it just, Jason is my hero at this point. Jason is my hero. because to stand in that much adversity and that much pain and stick to your conviction and stay true to who you are, no matter what. Jason is my hero.
I agree.
Because that's supernatural power. That's power beyond what we are just given when we enter this earth. That is something else.
My father would have been proud. He was always he met Jason once before he died, and Jason was about 4 months old, and he thought the other kids were cute, but Jason was the only one that looked like our side of the family, and he said he's so solid for a baby. He said this is a Marcello, this is our next generation. And he was so proud. He's like, this is our warrior, my family line on dad's side, they were warriors. They were as some people would call us, big dumb Italians, but we had a lot of heart, and we could take a beating. We could give birth in a vineyard and just go back to squishing grapes. No big deal. And he was so proud. He's like, this is our legacy. This is our, and Jason actually at one point, when after he graduated college, what he wanted to do was he wanted to change his last name from Fox to Marcello, because the Marcello name, unfortunately, it's been Americanized. It's actually Marcello, but the Marcello name is going to die out, because the last generation, all the boys had girls and all the girls had boys. And so Jason was going to change that.
But you know what?
Yeah.
We can help you with that. Instead of referring to him as Jason Fox, we can refer to him as he wanted, Jason Marcello.
Right.
We can give him his respect. He earned his respect in life, and he has given a powerful legacy. And from the rooftops to the bottom of the deepest basement. So you all, it's justice for Jason Marcello. Let's be true to him, just like he was true to himself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's a little bit too late to be able to change it now this far in the game, but that's a very nice thing to say, and I appreciate that.
If George Washington could have every picture of himself altered.
Oh, I didn't know that. He did?
Yeah, we have no idea what that bastard looked like.
Oh, really? Oh.
I believe we can do anything. We live in the United States. We could.
And when you were talking about how that one mother was so concerned about her baby, and it's funny is that everyone involved has children. Mm-hmm. Everyone involved between the ages of 1.5 to 8 years old. And this is Matt Radish Freeman, who promised me that he would take good care of my Jason. And that's his 8-year-old son. And actually, Jason took this picture because it was on Jason's reel of pictures. But it's like, he has a son. Why wouldn't he stop it? Why wouldn't he protect it? Like, he knows, being a father and telling the mother of the person that he's beating, that he was going to take care of, like his own son. I don't understand. I just don't understand. And I have a major question that I would really like to ask. And well, I've asked a few people about it, and so far everyone has agreed that it is okay to go against what would be considered proper etiquette, only because it could be a key factor to Jason's justice.
Mm-hmm.
and that is looking through Jason's messages and being in his iCloud, and which this is the phone that I have. They destroyed his phone and his SIM card, but with the iCloud, I got this iPhone, and I basically have this is the mirrored copy of the phone that Jason had. All of his apps and stuff, I can get into all of his everything and see everything. And he had a dating account, and there is a gentleman. Good for Jason. The man is gorgeous. I mean, I was impressed. I mean, really cute guy. But it shows all these sexy messages, and there's a phone number that the guy gives him, and there's a picture of the guy, standing in front of his mirror, with clothes on, and then a picture of them without his shirt on, and then a picture of him in his car, and then a picture of him at work. And the work picture says sheriff across his back, and his side patch has been confirmed by the little old ladies that watch me like a hawk. They said that is their county's badge. In Lincoln County, Libby, Montana, that's where Jason's car was dumped. And the thing is I want to release that information. But I was told that I shouldn't, because by one person in the very beginning, I was told I shouldn't, because do I know if that person has come out? And I said, I have no idea. And they said, well, you can't out someone. It'll be look very, very, it'll look really bad. You don't, it's a no. It's disrespectful.
This is what I'm going to tell you.
Is it?
Because to out them, the focus will shift and it will cause them to clam up. So any information they will not give. I will say, do not release it to the public, but do release the information to the DA.
Okay.
Because it's one thing for the DA in a legal manner to talk to this person, see the information that they have, and see if they're viable. Because this person could have critical information. Great. That's a great step ahead. This person may not know anything. And
he quit his job.
Yeah, you don't want people to focus on you negatively. Should this not? But release it to the DA and let them be questioned that way. And that'll be a whole lot better for you if you do that. If you just release it onto the DA. But I wouldn't do it in a public forum, because that person could clam up, and for all we know, this person may have the last piece to the puzzle that will give you that grand slam of convictions.
All right. Thank you.
No problem, darling. That is what I'm here for. See, there's that smile. There you are, gorgeous.
Thank you.
Any other new updates that you want to discuss?
I'm still I'm still going through all this paperwork. I have, it's so much information, and there's so many. It's like a tree, where there's this branch coming off of this branch, and it's just it's really overwhelming to go through. And it's some of it's just so I want to know so bad, because I feel like somewhere in my heart I need to know exactly what happened. I have to know what he went through. I have to know, I have to but at the same time it's so foreign, to hear, Jason's dead, because he can't be gone. He was only 19. He was so full of life, and he was all I had left. And I
breathe, sweetie, breathe. Take your time. Breathe.
It's just really hard to think that he's really gone. I mean, I lie to myself on a daily basis, and I've already looked into it. I once everyone is taken care of and the trial is over, I'm going to take a vacation for like a month at this one of these mental places and seek some, because I definitely know that I'm not, I'm crazy enough for a post office job, but they won't give me one. Actually, come to think of it, when I was 19, I had a shirt that said, which I was a kid, remember? So it would, looking back on it, it was distasteful. But I had this shirt that said, "Crazy enough for a post office job," right? And on the back it said, the post office tour, and it showed all the post office, because it's 1999, and all the post offices where the postal workers went crazy, and it had the massive shootings, So I had all the shooting sites right on the back. It was very inappropriate, but I wore it to a interview at the post office, and I'm like, "Hey, I speak English, and I'll be here every day." And they're like, "What are you wearing?" And I'm like, "Crazy enough for a post office job." No, remember, I'm 19, Yeah, well, I didn't get the job. So I was overqualified, apparently.
My crazy butt would have chuckled at the shirt and hired you, but I'm weird.
Oh, yeah. Whenever you go to a job interview and they say, "Well, where do you see yourself in 5 years?" And you say, "You working for me?" If they shy away, then you're like, "Oh, I don't want to work here anyway, because I don't want to be seen as a threat," But
I have actually, I have said that in a job interview.
So have I.
And my granny drove me to the job interview and was sitting outside the door. And when I came out, she looked at me. She's like, "Ay, Dios mío, I can't take you anywhere. Why do I even bother with you?" I was like, "I don't know. I told you I didn't want to work here."
Hey, if the guy interviewing you, stands up and chuckles and shakes your hand firmly and says, "See you on Monday," that's the place you want to work, because they know that you have the spunk for it, the thick skin that a lot of places don't seem to see it when you're a certain age. I was between 16 and 21 when I'd say stuff like that, but not now. Not now.
Oh, we were supposed to stop saying that.
Well, no, not necessarily. There's no rules. I did because I became the boss.
Yes, so did I. But I'm feeling like when we get done here, there's some phone calls I need to make.
You are so funny.
But I always get you to smile.
Yes, thank you very much. It's the first time I've smiled today.
I give you a lovely vacation from things. See?
Very much so, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much.
This is what happens when you have a friend that stays hopped up on sugar all day. Like I said, I had an unfortunate incident with dancing around last night and forgot I was on FaceTime.
That's hilarious. Jeez.
Oh, and everyone, I know she's going to kill me for this, but she can't kill me on air. Sunday is Pepper's birthday.
Oh.
So can we get a collective happy birthday for Pepper?
Thanks. I'll be 41 and have absolutely nothing to show for it at this point.
Ooh, I'll be 41. I'm 44. Get over it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, 41. Jeez. Where does the time go?
To our children. That's where it goes. I'm a firm believer that they suck out a couple of decades and then we hit 40 and then we get like a week for each decade back.
Oh yeah. Hey, ever since this incident started with Jason missing, I have this gray hair. I have this hair on the sides that like always like baby hairs, and they're all gray, all right through here, all gray. Ooh. Oh, thank you, Joe.
Happy birthday.
Wood. Thank you. But yeah, so yeah, do you have any questions for me? I encourage everyone that no matter how you might feel the question might affect me, or how sensitive you should be with me. With me, I just let me have it, because I would rather someone educate themselves than
Okay.
wonder or guess, or it's important to I'll talk to anybody about anything. Here's
I
a discovery.
Yeah, I completely understand. So we will now open up the comment sections to questions, but realize I can see you.
That's funny. So how have you been?
Tired because I don't sleep.
From all the sugar and dancing.
And I always have jokes because like when we get on the phone, my mind is a wonderland. I got jokes. Yeah. And I think at this point, my one neighbor is afraid of me.
Oh, really? Really? Well, that's a good thing, right? They should be. Sometimes fear or respect out of fear is a good thing.
Well, I got tired of her like trying to grocery shop from my, can I borrow? Can I borrow? So, I was irritated. I was working out of the living room because I'm not in my office right now. And y'all, I answered the door in a bonnet, a pair of my son's shorts that he left here at the house, and a tank top with no bra. And I probably looked like I escaped from the asylum, like I flew over the cuckoo's nest about 6 times. And if you all remember that one scene from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where Will was trying to teach Ashley how to fight, and he was like telling her to twitch, I went to the door and was like, what you need? What you need this time? She ain't been back.
That's good. No cup of sugar, huh?
She hasn't been back. And when I'm outside, and if she's outside at the same time, there's no eye contact. She just goes back in.
Oh, well, hey, you saved yourself from having to take your vacuum outside and start mowing the lawn, or vacuuming the lawn, right?
Because she went from, oh, do you have an egg? Sure. Can I have a cup of sugar? Sure. To, do you have sour cream? Do you have cream cheese and a bagel? Wait a damn minute.
Hey, you didn't cut this bagel, lady.
I'm like, wait, this is too far. Like, this is too far. And then when I barbecued on Sunday, she was like, well, can I have a rib? Can you? You better go find Adam and get a rib from him, Eve, because you're not getting one here.
Oh, no. I can't believe that is great. You really are my people. You really are. You're so funny.
I was just like, what? What? You asking too much.
Right.
I was like, the grocery store. I said, go up the street, make a left. At the light, make a left, and then make an immediate right. She was like, where would that take me? I said, to the grocery store.
That is so funny. I've had those times. You know what I call that? I call that if you give a mouse a cookie syndrome is what I call that. Do you know the children's book?
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I gave a roach some cheese. That's what happened. I gave a roach some cheese, and I left the light off, and she just kept coming back. I done turned the light on. She done scurried. I just, I'm learning. I can't be nice to everybody.
Right. So many people take advantage of kindness or see it as weakness, and it's just like this horrible. Nothing is should be more feared than a kind person who has had enough. Because when they blow, it's so unexpected.
What is it? What is the name of that movie? Is it Good Citizen? I think. Where the guy he was falsely accused of a crime and he just had enough. Like, you all put me in prison.
Oh, okay. That one. I was gonna say, is it the one where falling down, where this guy has a really bad day? It's I forgot his name, but he looks just like his father, and he has these glasses and a briefcase, and his car breaks down, and some other stuff happens, and so he ends up walking, and it's hot, and I don't know, it's breaking. Mm-hmm. Falling down. Maybe it is falling down. Douglas. Michael Douglas is in it.
Yeah, I've seen that one too. That and the one with Robin Williams, The Angriest Man in New York, or he's just having a horrible day. And it's like when you hit that point where enough is enough, and then you mix that with being a mama bear,
Right.
run.
There's a few times I have just wanted to, in the middle of town, just jump up on top of the cab of my truck and scream at the top of my lungs, I have had enough.
It might help.
Run, because here I come.
I'm gonna tell you, I know they're watching, so y'all, let me say once again, thank you, and I appreciate you all, and I'm surprised y'all did not have me locked away in an asylum after this. But the other day, I was having such a bad day. I was on the phone with the friends, and all I could tell them was mute their phones, and I screamed because I had gotten to that point. But it felt good afterwards.
Oh yeah. To release that. Oh, it does. I've actually done that a few times, like into my pillow or whatever. But
Oh no, I screamed it straight into the. I mean, I'm sure I could have done it before I called them. That's why I said I love y'all. Don't break up with me, okay?
And see, and your voice is like mine, where it can carry. Like if I want mine to carry, deep from my diaphragm, you can hear me 5 blocks away. I mean, I can catch someone's attention if I want. And I bet just I'm sure they could hear you 5 blocks away.
I'm sure they heard me well across the bridge. Like, what the fuck was that? Like, are we haunted, honey? What was that?
I on a happy note, with all this doom and gloom that I'm usually full of, I do have something positive to say. I on Jason's phone, I was looking. Whoops, where am I going? There we go. I was looking, and I went to voice memos, and if you can see on there, oh, you actually can't really. Okay, you see that verse says VA Puget Sound.
Mm-hmm.
It says an hour, 30 minutes. Jason, these are all Jason's recordings, and that hour and 30-minute one, Jason went to go visit mother at the VA hospital. She lived at the nursing division, and that's them talking for an hour and a half. And they're both gone.
You have them both together.
Yeah, talking. Yeah.
It's been a year now. It's awful. I've been in here how long? Can't remember. Maybe 3 years. I think almost. Oops. Don't poke your eyes now. Alright.
But
Better? Okay. So I'm gonna take the trash out. Okay?
But yeah, they're
Do you need me to push you outside, or you guys are okay? Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Question for you really about. I graduate in June. We were trying really hard to get her there. How hard is it to get her checked out? Does she have anything special that like a nurse is gonna have to go with? Or is it just to check her out?
Breathe, mama. Breathe.
June 13th.
but anyway, so that goes on for an hour and a half of them talking and whatnot. He actually it's because she was bedbound at that point. The nurses get her up into her chair, and then Jason takes her out to the VA is kind of like, the nursing part is like all the rooms are like hospital rooms, but they're all like in a big circle. In the middle of the circle is glass doors. It's a glass wall going all the way around, and it is a foyer out there, like it's a little garden and stuff. And so he takes her out there, and so it's pretty crazy. It's still, Mama died 4/15/20, and then Jason died 9/15/20, and I'm really glad that he I'm really glad that he recorded that. He recorded a lot of things I didn't realize, including like our first. I don't know if you've seen any of my videos, but I put a video up of Jason's and my first therapy session together. I didn't know he recorded it, and I put it up on part of it up on TikTok. It was really hard to hear, but hearing his voice sounded so good.
Mm-hmm.
I miss him. I really hope that I really hope I don't let him down.
Mm-mm. We're not about to do that. Now
No,
you
I
know
know.
my
No,
number.
no, I'm not.
You know my number one rule. We not gonna do
No,
that.
I know, but I don't want to let him down. I have a lot of time to reflect, and I just he's gonna change the world. He's gonna change the world, even through his death.
Mm-mm. Look at me. Look at me. No, you have persevered through what would break most people. Do you know how many people would still be sitting in the corner, curled up in the fetal position, wanting someone else to fight the battle for them? But you didn't do that. You never dropped the torch. You picked it up. You have had hits from all the way around, from misguided, ignorant, racist, homophobic individuals on social media. You've had to fight an entire town. You've had to fight your ex, but you didn't buckle. So don't you doubt the pride that your son has in you. And not only is your son proud of you, we're all proud of you. We're all proud of you. So don't you stop. Do you know my number one rule? We don't no. Now we can second guess, because second guessing does make us better. But what we're not going to do today, tomorrow, or the next day is doubt, because you need to turn around and look in the rearview mirror and see just how much you have already conquered, because what is left is a hurdle over a pebble for you. You've already seen the darkest of days. You are coming into the light. And this Sunday, trust and believe, your baby is going to be there to wrap his arms around you as you sit there and enjoy your birthday in your way. But of course, he is proud of you. You gave him the conviction to be our hero, to stand for who he is till the very end, until he transcended into the arms of his grandparents and his ancestors. And I promise you, they're looking down on you going, you know what? Look how strong we are. So don't you do that. Don't you do that.
Absolutely.
Weeping cometh in the night, but it is gone in the morning. It cometh in waves, but we ride that wave to victory. Okay?
Absolutely. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Mwah!
Thank you. I guess I guess one last thing. I'm preparing for another event. Like his birthday, a little bit different, but like his birthday. Except instead of marching, it's going to be like a sit-in up at the Pend Oreille County Sheriff's Department. They have a beautiful, nice, giant lawn, and so there's plenty of room. It's also their property butts up to the rodeos property, where they do their county rodeos, and so there's plenty of space, So I'm preparing for that. It's going to be on the 1-year anniversary of Jason's murder on 9/15/20. And for those that can't, make it, I'm going to be doing a few videos here pretty soon, encouraging people to go and you can get them at the dollar store sometimes, or take a red marker and mark a normal bulb. But Jason's favorite color was red, and so on 9/15/20, everyone change out the outside light bulb for the outside light, to a red one for Jason.
Okay, so where do I need to be on 9/15?
Either Newport, Washington, at the Ponderay County Sheriff's Department, or the dollar store to get a red light bulb to screw into your outside fixture for the evening.
Nope, Newport is now in my calendar, and I know my producer is watching.
You mean it?
We gonna make it work, girl. But that's where I'll be. Who's coming with me?
Oh, I guess it's gonna be just you and me for right now. But I'm hoping that I did a post on it, a 3-minute post, and
oh no, I'm not coming alone. I told you I'll never come alone.
Oh, thank you, Manda Bear. I was hoping that yeah, that 9/15, from this date, July, August, September, yeah, that gives us it gives people time to plan, So, and
No.
where are you coming from? You're coming from
Kentucky.
Kentucky. That's right, Kentucky.
The meth head state.
Oh, I was gonna say the fried chicken state, but I didn't know there's meth everywhere.
No, I'm gonna tell y'all, you can eat chicken at my house. Don't go to these restaurants around here thinking.
Oh.
If unseasoned was a commonwealth, Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Oh no. Oh no.
Mata, I'm a good babysitter. Come on, bring the kid. Okay, you might not want to leave the kids with me because I keep candy in my purse, but
hey, kids are more than welcome to be there. It's everybody event. And I don't know how to help them. There's there was a bunch of kids that have been in hiding this whole time, that are scared to come out before Jason was killed. But they messaged me on Facebook, and they told me how much they appreciated seeing the gay pride parade, the gathering, the protest. They said because for the first time in their lives, they didn't feel alone, and I didn't realize how important visibility was, and until they all started coming to me. And these are like anywhere from 13, 14, 15, 16 to 18-year-olds, contacting me and thanking me for it. And I'm like, it's something it didn't dawn on me that.
Oh, wait till they see our big queer flamboyant asses descend on the city.
You're so funny. Thank you for the smiles, and thank you for your time. And I just want to say,
sweetheart, we're gonna come in red, but I mean, we gay as hell, so we're gonna like bedazzle the red, put some frills on the side. Somebody will probably have a train. We're gonna have tiaras. We gonna have professionally made signs with specialty holders.
Right.
We are gay. I mean, we're down for a good fight, but let's just say our fighting weapons are like Cartier. So
right.
But thank you for coming and giving an update, and thank you for allowing me to just love on you publicly, because I know I do it behind the scenes, but I needed people to know that you do have people that have your back, and that you do have moments where you can smile, and that you can see the light at the end of the darkness, and know that forever, I love you. I told you, you my little sister now. You can't divorce me. If you try, I'm just come knock on your door, and we just gonna have to fight. I mean, we gonna have to fight as we eat cheesecake, because every good argument has cheesecake in it.
Absolutely.
And I feel like I can win if you have a mouthful of cheesecake.
All right.
But thank you, darling. And like I said, as the updates come in, we'll keep doing this and know that I've got you back. Love you.
All right. Love you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And to everybody else, I will see you tomorrow. As always, each one teach one, each one reach one. Till tomorrow.